There we go, the 17th episode of the DroPodcast. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we've got two guests, DefensiveShades and TheRogueWolf. Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys doing today?
Great.
Not bad.
Pretty
How about you?
So far, so good. It's a bit colder over here right now, so a bit chill. Okay, we've got three main topics today. One of them is devs messed up. Second one is the playing objectives / alerts, or the NC Connery drama, and the record smash in 2019 coming up, maybe. And let's start with the first topic. Have you guys read the post by Rel, maybe on Reddit?
Absolutely.
No, I missed it. What did it say?
Well, just I will post the link, by the way. Chat right now. It basically said, like, well, guys, we're sorry you messed up with the latest update. If you have not been playing last week, on Thursday, I think, it had an update, and they pushed it directly to live. They hadn't tested it on the test servers yet. And basically, for everyone, it made the game crash.
I did hear about that.
The game was just unplayable. Were you playing Thursday defensive?
Yeah, I mean, so far, it's like that update kicked in. Fights have been very strange, per se. At least on my server. I'm sure everywhere else is the same way, but if you're trying to attack bases and nobody shows up, it's not because they didn't want to show up. They just couldn't show up, right? So, like, direct spawns is not working out. But I hope they patch it soon, but in the current game, if you're gonna force players to like drive sunnies up the fights and get them themselves, or defend bases by flying there or transporting themselves there, it's kind of rough. It makes the fights like really 1 or 2 dimensional because outfits are only pushing up 1 or 2 lanes where it's easier available because they don't want take the time to fly off the other side of the continent, especially if there's like some outfit that's slamming 2 platoons down there and nobody has a chance to defend it. It also makes harder for the defenders to actually respond fast enough. So say an alpha wants to go to defend that said X base on the other side of the map. By the time they fly over there and get everything they need, it might be too late, or the enemy might be set up so deep you have no chance of actually getting out of it. So yeah, they got to really do some these changes quick.
Yeah, have you had problems with B-Way ops with getting points up, or?
It's about 50-50. So I think for like the more organized outfits, it's not that big of a deal. But for us, we do see a big difference. There's more ghost caps for my outfit now, just because if we drop on a base and we overpop it with our 8 dudes and nobody shows up, so like we're not sure what's gonna really happen. Either an alpha will drop on us with 4 to 8 dudes out of the sky because they're unable to spawn there, right? So pops and gradually, or 2, we ghost cap the base completely and nobody comes to contest us. So it's either A, really extreme gameplay, or B, really boring gameplay. And the medium in between usually get for like a point hold alpha like mine doesn't happen as often as it.
Yeah, the game is now in a really strange state, especially with the spawns. I think also, I don't know if it was the case, but they wanted to do it like this, that every faction could have a maximum of 60 guys just spawning in the base. But I think in the current edition of the game, the current patch, it has a maximum of 60 in total, so that is completely bugged. But well. Defensive Shades, have you had problems with the beacons as well?
From what I've seen, I don't think so. Generally, if you're still underpopped at a base, you can spawn fairly quickly within 3 seconds. So, at least for my outfit per se, if we're still fighting underpop, like beacons are coming quick. If not, the 15-second thing does kick in if we're overpopping a base. So people have to wait 15 seconds till they die. But I mean, so far for me, the beacons seem pretty normal. They are at where they need to be. At least in my opinion. I don't know if they should be faster or slower, but if you're under pop all the time and you're getting 3-second beacons, there's really no complaint.
Yeah, I personally have got a problem that I can't even spawn beacons. I don't have them in my inventory, so that might be an NSO problem. Oh, there's a fix already.
There's actually it's a fix that you have to do personally as a player. Apparently, each time you log in, when you see the cert refund for spawn beacons, once you see that, you have to actually log out of the game immediately and then log back in so you can fix the spawn beacons so they'll come back. Otherwise, if you don't log back out or log back in, you're gonna have that continuous problem while you're playing. The beacons just won't show up. And the only way to fix it is to log out and log back in quickly.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Didn't know that.
Yep, it's a fix.
It's a fix. It's a workaround, maybe. Well, about the letter they wrote, it's more or less, guys, we have a small team, and we have got ambitions. They want to grow the game. So sometimes they have to think, well, do we want to patch this directly? Do we want to have the big update? Or do we want to test it first really good before we push it to live? And what they are doing right now is they push it to live directly. They might want to change that a little bit in the future. I do have to say, though, the new Infiltrators seems fine.
It doesn't seem to really work out well for them when they push things out without testing. It's really landed in their face more often than not.
Yeah, and going back to the Infiltrator thing, I believe that's not how they're actually supposed to be, according to Ro and what he posted on. They're supposed to be a little bit more invisible, and I think it actually might make sense because they're pretty visible as far as I can tell right now. When they're running around, which is fine, you're running around, but standing still, catch glimpses of them too, which shouldn't be happening, especially if you're playing Stalker Info. So they could tweak the shimmer a little bit more just for those info players, because right now, like, they're in a if you're playing low graphic settings, you are tearing these people apart. Like, they could be 100 miles away and you can still see them. It's that obvious.
Yeah, it feels like a big nerf for the for the infos right now.
They've always had problems with the Infiltrators on low settings, haven't they? It's either they've been completely invisible or they've been like
super visible. Yeah, never in the in between. It's a good background for it. They just gotta nail it. Whenever that happens, we'll have to find out.
Yeah, it is for the especially infills. That I think that's also the thing with the lighting right now. The lighting in the game feels off sometimes. Sometimes it's very, very bright, and sometimes it feels like it's very dark.
Yeah, that's like really setting dependent from what I've seen too.
It's better than it was a couple patches ago. Then it was just the bloom was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the moon was the sun, and the sun was supernova.
Yeah, a supernova I haven't seen that much anymore, but that especially appears with sunrise and sundown. So
I'm happy I play at 200 render distance, so I have to see the sun.
Really, don't you? Does it work?
Like I usually play at low frame, like, you know, at the lowest settings possible for the maximum frame. So like, to me, graphics don't really matter.
So, yeah, with that low render settings, you got nothing blocking the sun for you, so it's just straight in your face all the time, isn't it?
I don't see the sun.
Oh, you don't at all? Wow, lucky you.
Block that.
Okay, but yeah, the devs are going to work on the PTS a bit more in the future. But again, I do expect buggy updates in the future coming. So patch day will still be a meme in the future as well. Keep that in mind. And I think the next topic is a bit more interesting. It's actually a bit of a NC Connery drama, like I mentioned before. It's about playing objectives or alerts. I will quickly share the link. It's actually, that all happened on the Connery subreddit. And the problem is mainly that the Dim Giant Army is a very big outfit, approximately 2.5k members. So that's basically 60% of Connery, active Connery. And, well, the Dim Giant Army is well known for their memes. And sometimes memeing around, especially during the final alert, where some people want to win, that is frustrating. And I'm looking for the subreddit right now.
Connery drama.
You guys at B-Way, you guys always go for the objectives, right? The final alert, or not?
For the most part. I mean, like, if we're talking like, it depends on like the situation of the server. Like, if, for example, depending on what faction we play on, if I know for a fact that outfits are throwing away the alert, then I'm not going to care for it either. But if they're all trying, yeah, I'll play for it. It really depends. It's like a situational type thing, because there's no point playing for alerts if nobody on your faction is actually gunning for them. Like, if you know NC has 40% character control, and you're playing VS, and you know 65% of the outfits on there are smashing TR for no reason, and they're still smashing them, and you got 25 minutes left, then, you know, there's no point, right? But situational.
Yeah, this apparently always happens in NC Connery. And people are getting really frustrated. even so far that one outfit is saying, or one outfit leader is saying, well, can't the dev just completely make sure the Dim Giant army is going to disappear? Let's say it like this.
Oh wow, that's dramatic. Lucky for us, nothing like that happens on Emerald per se. Like, because no one's got the time. B, no one has like the energy. But for Dim Giant's army, I guess, to be causing that many issues, yeah, that might be a problem. In my opinion, I don't think forcing outfits to play the alert is fair to them if they don't want to. But again, the guy what controls you said 65 to 70% of the NC population when he's on, correct?
Yeah. He also
Wow.
mentions in his post that apparently the Dim Giant army poached players. Like they were first of all part of a different outfit. However, they came to the Dim Giant army.
Like active poaching?
That
He's
is
going
that is a
here
question
grabbing
though.
people?
I think they just came around and
Yeah.
sent outfit invites.
Yeah, because like
It-
that's a pretty serious like accusation, right? Like we're talking poaching. There's like there's passive poaching and active poaching. If he's just sending invites out, then in my opinion, like it's no big deal. Like there's been so many outfits that have done that in the last 6 years that have come and go, right? Versus active poaching where you're actively going into said outfits Discord, said outfits team
yeah.
speaks. Like, hey, I'm from Dim Giants. I'm trying to leave this X, outfit because they're bad for X reason. Like that's not okay, but it depends on the situation, right?
Apparently there were some problems with the active and C outfits before the Dim Giant's army, so
Hmm.
they lacked some active platoons. Like there was nothing really going out there, and yeah, apparently because there was so much little stuff going, they went to a very active platoon because, well, in Dim Giant's defense, they do have like 2 full platoons almost every day going around with active comms, and well, they might not always be going for the objective, but there are at
Right.
least people, you know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's pretty. So what's funny is there's another outfit similar to Emerald that does the same thing, but not like like at the cost of alerts. So I'm not sure you guys have heard of SKL or SoCal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Circus
I'm aware of
Legion.
them.
Yeah.
Those guys on Vani, they own about 50 to 55% of the Vani population, which is half, which is plenty.
Nice.
That's a lot already, but more times than not, they actively play for the alert. So I think the answer really is how much drama are they causing, per se. Like people complain about Sokar's Legion a lot, and they complain about Sokar Ton who runs the outfit, but they help Vani win a lot of alerts, right? They play the objective all the time. So I think the answer is it really depends how much responsibility you should have with the players you have.
Mm-hmm.
Sokar obviously does a good job of making sure his players are doing the objective and keeping the game, in a healthy state. But there's other.
Okay, I also got like a message from Tel. He wanted to share with us. He can't be here tonight, but he also thinks that he has an opinion about playing objectives and what it means for the game. I will just tell it with you guys right now. I can't attend the podcast today, but I still want to say something about this Dim Giant army here to you guys. The guy might be a nice person, and the people in his outfit might be as well, but he is completely delusional when it comes to what's good for the game. The guy says that he's reviving the game, but he's really not. He has like 2,000 players in his outfit, and they are not active otherwise. Active otherwise. Good sentence. Connery would be the most populated server. Oh no, I'm reading the sentence wrong. They're not active otherwise. Connery would be the most populated server. It is definitely not. It's Emerald right now. It's just another Zerg fit with a leader who's immune to criticism. Everything has to go his way, and it's fine because they are having fun. Meanwhile, 80% of the NC population of Connery is in his outfit, and apart from memes, he's doing nothing good for them or the game. They are just, lost the sentence, just there to fuck around and sit in the stream and be yes men or go away because they can't stand it. I've told him numerous times how he does it is bad for the game, but he doesn't listen to anything what I say. This is illustrated very well in the Reddit post that was posted in Faber's Discord. That's this link I shared. People come here with legit arguments, and Dim Giant just loves them away like it's nothing. Meanwhile, the Connery and all the other servers just plagued by Zergfits like Dim, Zerg, 91AR, and others. It's very bad for the game. It's even worse than all the bugs because those people and outfits ruin the game for everyone, even if the game is working as intended. They ruin the game for others because there is no way of getting out of the spawn room and just ruin it by themselves because there is no fight. So what they did actually, they went to the TR warp gate and they built a base. They built a very big base, and basically no plane could leave the warp gate. They would just shoot them down. And he continues with they ruin the game for others because no. Most people in the Zerg are new or bad at the game. There's nothing bad about being bad at the game, but then it don't ruin it for others. Those new players get this one experience from the Zerg fit and quickly go away because it's very boring. Show these new players what's possible instead of zerging a lane and taking all the NC population away to do some bullshit. I know bullshitting around in itself is not bad. Doing that and zerging is all fine. I'm sorry, Tel's sentences are sometimes a bit vague. I know bullshitting around in itself is not bad, but doing that and zerging all the time is. And if these Zerg fits leaders have one brain cell in their head, they can think logically, they would understand and try to influence positively the game. Okay. That was a sentence. His message, actually.
Yeah, that was a lot to take in.
Yes.
I don't know. I think he might be a little bit too critical. Maybe extremely critical.
This is quite critical, yeah.
Super. Like as an alpha leader myself, and somebody who's put like almost 5,000 hours in leading already, from like Zerg fit all the way down to like what I have now. Hey man, it's not easy. The root of the problem of Zerging is there's not enough leaders out there from the previous years who have experience in how to create good quality fights to teach the people that are leading now. More times than not, like the alpha leaders that come about are brand new players or players who think they know what they're doing from watching a said X streamer or a said X YouTuber. And that X YouTuber, X streamer that's currently in the year 2018 or 1917, whatever, the last 4 to 5 years, aren't like the people you should be going to like get help in terms of how to lead. And the leaders who actually know what they're doing aren't the ones going out of their way to come help out the new leader. So because you have that, paradigm of leaders who know what they're doing but aren't reaching out to the people who, need their help, and then the new people on the other hand saying, I don't need your help, I can do it my own. I'm the real Mongo here, right? And I'm gonna lead my alpha the way I want to. Causes, obviously a lot of problems, and there's just no group in between that can really help them out. So you just have all these alphas that end up doing their own, right? And then the leaders that end up being good after a period of time, do it from learning from all their past mistakes. But it takes, God, I probably say it takes about a good 600 hours to just understand like all 4 maps on the basic level, right? And then like to do like decent strategies or to really understand like how the timers and tickers work and like how to create good quality fights is another 600 hours. It's probably about 1,200 hours total to actually train like a decent PL or force command, depending
There's
on like,
actually
how you want to go.
a thing also. The outfit, the Gym Giant Army started 6 months ago, basically, end of December.
Yeah.
Right now, they're starting leadership training because right now, what Dim is doing is like he's leading like 2 platoons at the same time, and that just doesn't work. That's too much.
Oh man, I get 36 dudes and I have a headache already.
Yes, so
Wow.
he is trying his best, but you other than like saying, guys, I'll get it, and it's very hard to really do good leadership, get the real. Well, one of the critiques of the guy that made the Reddit post was like, guys, you got so many people, you can easily take 1 or 2 bases at the same time, or maybe 3 even, and that wasn't happening at the final alert.
Right.
Yeah.
In the middle lane, right? He's just smashing everybody on one side. Correct.
That was one big Zerg. That's, of course, also fun sometimes because, well, you get the real Planetside experience with, like, 96 plus fights, and you can create them yourself really easily. So that's pretty fun as well. But I guess it's frustrating as well for the more serious outfits on
It is,
Connery.
right? Yeah, like there's no right answer to like solve it because every answer is a bad answer, right? Like I'm sure some of these like critics of Dimjan are saying you should just disband your outfit because we think you're a mongoloid and you need to go. Or B, I'm gonna come in, disband your outfit for you, and then we're gonna try to screw you over, right? To like, and there's been outfits in the past that have done an all service to try to get rid of other outfits. Really cancerous, but that's happened too. Or C, you need to break your outfit apart or have, somebody else like take a split off of your outfit and go somewhere else, right? And
Yes.
none of those answers per se are good for his community just because it's so big. And then all the right answers per se, and they're not right either, is to like for him to get help. But I don't know how much, like, because I don't know Dim Giant personally outside of like what I've seen on YouTube. Uh, if he's willing to get help from other people, and the question is the quality of help that he's getting, because in my opinion, the people who really, really do know what they're doing are like probably 5% of the total population on like all servers. And the
Yeah.
people who think they know what they're doing are really critical of how people should play the game and how other alpha leaders should run their outfit. That they're gonna like strong arm him into doing something he shouldn't be doing, and it's gonna hurt anyway. There's no right answer. It really isn't.
By the way, Filthy says, I don't think it's fair to criticize anybody who's doing the job of leading a platoon outfit. If you don't like leadership, then lead.
And he's correct. Oh no,
I have to
exactly
say,
right.
though, the guy that made the Reddit post who had the critique, he does lead an outfit. However, his outfit is just not that popular. Some people might not like his leader style or like the outfit philosophy or his activity. So he does his best. Well, of course, there are boundaries.
Yeah, and definitely big props to Jim Giant for keeping his outfit so like it's not like people think it's easy to make these kind of Zerg fits
Oh,
sustainable.
no.
If he's lasted for 6 months already, that guy has some special charisma going around. There's there's absolutely no way from what I've seen to last more than 2 months. You're just like inviting every person that comes on from the warp gate, right? There's no way.
That is a
No way.
lot of cats to herd for that long a time.
Yeah, if he's been doing it for 6+ months, there's he's doing something right. Whether he's good for the game or not depends on how he evolves and changes. But if I was him and I was Dim Giant like right now, and he's getting all this heat from Connery about how he's running his outfit, I would probably really take a deep breath and like think about it for a week about where he wants to direction his outfit, because owning 65 to 7% of the population and not using it appropriately to make better fights for everybody else is also a cancerous thing to do, especially if he's trying to have fun. But
Yeah.
at the expense of everybody else is also a bad thing. Like I'm really careful with my outfit and how if I know I have like 24 dudes on, like not even 24, like 30 dudes on, and I bring like all my players to one base when it's not necessary, and we're beating the shit out of just new players alone because dude is Flukes, for example, wants to go on a mass murder spree and kill 40 people in one go. He will, right? No one's gonna stop him. That's things you have to take in consideration because people will uninstall. That's not a good thing either.
Yeah,
So
one thing that bothers me is that Giant, I don't know him. I can't say I know him. I'm not going to try to judge him, but he seems to be taking up a really flippant attitude towards the enjoyment of other people. He seems to be focused on what he's doing and what his outfit is doing, and not taking into account like the other factions or maybe players who aren't in his outfit who can't find a fight because everything's just getting swamped.
mhm.
And it just, you have to take the entire game into account. Honestly, you have to take everybody's enjoyment into account. You can't just say, I'm having fun, screw you.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Do you guys
But-
think that Daybreak Games should do something about this then? Is this their responsibility, or do they just provide the game as a sandbox and we as a community should step in?
I don't know they should do something about it, because here, like, this is the first time this has happened, right? Like, this has happened over a period of several years. Like, before Dim Giant, there was an outfit called TE, the Enclave, run by Psycho, in 2014. This man bought in 9 platoons worth of people, and he called each platoon a dagger. Each dagger was worth 48 people. So imagine 9 daggers running around at the crown, right? And he instructs them to A, defend the crown for your life, and B, troll everybody so they come attack the crown, right? Like, that's a lot of power, and he probably owned about 65% of the TR population at that point in time when he was still running. I mean, back then, though, the fights were a lot better, and doing stuff like that was okay because there was a lot of outfit rivalry. But nowadays, considering the lack of outfits and the lack of leaders and the lack of, population to sustain 9 daggers, like, I think each, like, live server has, like, 4 to 5 platoons now at this point on every faction. Imagine one guy owning 9 platoons on one at his will and command. Oh, Jesus.
One thing is funny though, Dim Giant also notice the lack of commands or leaders in his outfit. So what he's doing right now, I think you guys know about the bonus checks, the NC bonus checks. He's actually handing out bonus checks, like real dollars, to people that take up leading and do it effectively as well.
Like real cash.
Real cash.
Wow. So,
Hey.
And they do an election with this whole outfit every month. And the best leader or the best whatever commander
I mean,
gets $100.
Jesus Christ, he's actually offering cash. I mean, like,
That's
He's-
ridiculous.
He's doing it very seriously, and he takes his platoon also very seriously.
well,
And
I mean, the
apparently-
guy's trying. Right, that's for sure. I don't know. He's in a weird position, right? Like, he's getting a lot of hate for what he's doing, and then B, he doesn't care what the outsiders say. Probably because the outsiders, not gonna lie, our community in general is really fucking toxic.
Yeah.
Super fucking toxic. So I'm sure some people have said some shit to him, other in his
Yeah.
dad, that he didn't need to hear. And after that one experience, or 2 or 3 experiences, or God, dozens of experiences, he probably just shut them all down, doesn't give a shit anymore, and probably just locks them all out or block. So like, it's on us, like on the veterans too, to really, try to be cordial to these people. Because if you don't, right, they're gonna hurt you in the end anyway. Because the real onus is the people who run outfits like them giants will control how you enjoy your game daily, on whatever server you're on. And if you're not friendly to them, you might be the better player, or you might own the better outfit or whatever, or you might do this X or this that. If he has 4 times more people than you, he's gonna control the quality of fights you have, no matter what happens. So probably it's better to just suck his nut once in a while.
Then also, what he does do though, he provides a lot of open platoons. Everybody can join his platoons for those new players. Do you think it's positive for new player retention, maybe? With what he does?
I mean, depends on what he does, right? Like, I don't know exactly how Dim Giant does his leadership training, or how he does his. I'll kind of give you guys a good example. So, B-Way has taken up the time, like the last month, to train an outfit called T-Soul on NC, and they're like some super, really millsome outfit, and like your training is bonkers. It has nothing to do with how you should actually play Planetside at all. And we walked in there to kind of witness their training for like 2 days, and they were doing things like fire lines, where they would line up people in single columns and have them run in a straight line in an open desert field, and then they just get killed, right, or mosquitoed by a banshee, and you're like, what is the purpose of this, right? And their commander saying it's tactical. I did this in the military. I have,
Tactical 80-80 training or...
What
Yeah, they don't
military was this? World War I Britain?
I guess, right? I guess, but like it depends, like what the training is. Like those guys, so they were doing some, insane training. Then we sat them. They're like, hey, like teach your players this stuff, because you're gonna make them uninstall when they get destroyed by some guy who learned how to burst his gun and has 90 FOV, or like he has DPI calibrated. Do you know about mouse sensitivity? And they're like, what is this thing? What is the science you're talking about? It's like, it's not a science. It's how you play the game.
Mhm.
It's unknown. It's unknown to these people. So if Dim Giant doesn't have somebody in there that has experience in Planetside, in our Planet Man FPS, and understands settings for, and like how to understand what proper guns to use, and how to AD and all that good stuff, and theorem shuffling, is the training actually good? Who knows?
Hmm.
It depends. We
Yeah,
wouldn't know
it's
that.
not like training, but for this new play, just coming in the game, many people leave within like 15 hours of gameplay. So,
Right.
is it more fun to directly join the game and like get an active open squad commander with like 50 other guys, or is it more fun to just start hanging around as well?
I mean, in my opinion, I think a new player, if he's directed properly, maybe by a tutorial to join an outfit right away, would be better off than find a platoon first. If he can hop into an outfit right away within his first like 10 to 15 minutes, by somewhere that'll take him in and kind of show him the basics. And the outfit don't have to be recursion and pull a 6 KD and then be like, I need you to go out there and murder 40 people. Nah.
Hmm.
They can be like 1 TR or like VCO, like your average midfit, and be like, hey, I know the stuff you need to do. I'm not great at it, but I can show you how to do it, and we can go from there, right? Because we're not no new player is going to be expecting to be top quality, have a top quality coach or top quality trainer help. But he just needs like some assistance. And I think that's more important than getting into the game right away, because the second you hit your J key and you hit join combat and you spawn somewhere from the sky, right, from the spawn beacon, and you land in the middle of the desert on Indar between a tank fight from your faction and the other faction, then you get shelled right away, and then you spawn again after getting shelled and get shelled again, you're probably not really happy.
That's kind of funny. When the first time I started the game, I got dropped behind a tech plant and got shelled by a lightning while I was still trying to figure out how to work the controls.
pretty accurate, right? Yeah. No. It's no. I wish there was an easy answer for it, but that's my opinion. Go find an alpha right.
It's a good answer, actually.
Yeah, maybe have like devs develop like a tier system of like what a quality outfit is. Like I think that might be kind of cancerous from the devs' point of perspective, but to have like the outfit browser say, if you join this X outfit, we sponsor it because they teach new players, and we really recommend them to come in. And then like that outfit probably could be like a retention center to kind of send people elsewhere after they're done. If we had like groups like that on all servers, on all factions, that would help the game a lot. The problem is to find people to run that kind of.
I think if they implemented that, it would be a matter of nanoseconds before somebody posted a devs playing favorites thread on Reddit.
Yeah, and that's another problem, right? They can't play favorites either. But if you want to really solve this problem of getting like people out of Zerg, like, and for me, Zergfits inherently aren't that terrible for the game. If a Zergfit can find another Zergfit to fight, it's just that because they avoid each other and they ghost cap bases in circles on almost all factions. That's the issue. They're not fighting each other directly. I don't know why leaders choose to do it like that. Probably because it's easier, just take bases straight out and win the territory, but at the cost of your players and your platoons. But like I think maybe we have to either do that or be for leadership to go fight other leaders. Like if let's say you have a battle with another platoon and it's a 50-50 fight and you're doing a tank battle in between bases, a platoon that wipes out the second platoon deserves it, or then maybe that will stop zerging a little bit, because now they're forced to directly fight each other for incentives. Easy answer.
Well, do you think maybe the game can incentivize Zergfists to fight each other?
They should do EXP.
But then
now,
you
right?
also need to define what is a Zergfit. Then
right, that's a harder question to answer, right?
Yeah,
it depends. Because the definition of Zergfit nowadays between like the different tiers of our community are like so vague and like so like outrageous that the definition of Zergfit is not even Zergfit. For example, a 6 KD heavy from an elite outfit that farms a lot. We'll say an outfit that's a mid-fit like 1 TR who drops on a fight is zerging, even though they only have 2 squads and they're trying to put one a base. But because those players are coordinating their ass because they're playing solo with 2 other people, they can't win because technically 3v24, right? To them, that's zerging. The mid-fit 1 TR or VCO says, oh, well, Sokar is zerging me because he has 96 players and my 2 to 3 squads can't handle it, right?
Generally, the Planetside 2 definition of zerging is when you have more numbers than I do.
Yeah. Not a proper number, if you ask me. It really depends.
I think actually also the Daybreak Games want to avoid those very, very big fights, because performance tends to drop a lot and the servers don't like it when there are big groups fighting at the same time, in the same place. I don't know if we're going to see more of that in the future.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but you have to be careful because big fights are one of the draws of the game.
And like a lot of these players like the big fight.
Mm-hmm.
Immersion, like if you're fighting at West Pass Watchtower between A, B, and C, and your platoon's actually coordinated, right? And you got or 2 platoons on both sides actually coordinated, and they're having a great fight. You have tanks sieging, from the mountain. You have infantry pushing into the tower. You have infantry inside the tower trying to push them out. It's an immersive experience. It's just don't happen often enough to make it worth fighting for.
Just a random question in between, by the way. Do you guys miss on Vanu Emerald already the OWO outfit?
That's a great question. Personally, VS Command Chat's been pretty okay without them.
Okay.
And like Sokar seems to be more on edge about, taking more control of the map now because he has the ability to do that. So we haven't really felt there. It depends on the quality of outfit leaders you have and if they're coordinated or not. Unfortunately for us on Emerald, most of the outfits coordinate with each other. Really, try to step on each other's toes too often. So losing an outfit like OWO is a setback, but it's not a huge problem if you're trying to win alerts or play the game in general. But in terms of teaching new players, they were probably the only outfit outside of mine that actually took the time to train new people and teach them exactly everything they need to know to improve at a decent level, right? To get them up to speed. So that's a loss. But then again, like I said, it is not easy maintaining a training outfit or an outfit that trains exclusively to like help new players because you will burn out quick if you don't know it. Unfortunately, for OW who led the outfit, lasted for 6 months, and then he said by the time he was like by the 6 month end, he was like drained. He didn't. He felt unhealthy in his real life, and he felt like he was losing like what he had in real life for Planet Man's, and that's a huge problem.
That's
Because
pretty.
you're not getting much in the way of rewards for that.
No, you're not, because the players you train might quit one day anyway, and you don't know, and it hurts, right? I think I've done a good job in the last year and like 2 months, like doing what I'm doing because like I kind of know I understand how to manage a training outfit and like what I can't do and what I can do, right? Unlike OWO, like I only take a certain amount of X new players every month, and then I stop taking them because I know if I go over that amount, I'm gonna either burn out or somebody else is gonna burn out. And like my staff, that man had him and maybe 3 other dudes, and they gotta train every single day, and they try to take a lot of freaking people. That's gonna kill you, man. That's gonna kill you. And it's unfortunate because they were a decent group. They knew what they're doing. If only there's more outfit leaders out there or people who knew what they were doing, wanted to take the incentive like Furry to take the time to do that, then the game on all factions, all servers would be a lot better.
Actually, the deeper lying problem is the lack of leaders again.
Yeah, which is the lack of leaders.
That is something the game would still incentivize, but it still doesn't happen.
Nope.
So, well, if Drew's listening right now, Drew, please think about something. By the way, about Alpha progression, yeah, you guys have maybe even been hearing about these sanctuaries. Is there maybe something like outfit rewards you guys want to see in the future?
Titles, I guess.
Titles.
Like, for example, this X outfit had this amount of tanks destroyed this month, right? And they deserve to be like the tank buster outfit of the month kind of deal. Or this outfit captured this many bases of underpop. They deserve to be the point hold outfit of the month kind of deal. I think that would help this game a little bit, give people more incentives to do things with their outfits other than go for these blanket rewards of being, oh well, I think I have a better outfit than you, versus actual statistics to measure, match that up.
Yeah, I've said before, another game that I've played, All Points Bulletin, had in their social areas billboards that you could actually buy for a limited amount of time. You can put your artwork or your designs up there for sale or show them off. I think maybe if there's something like that for Planetside 2, where the outfits could like earn some kind of currency that they could use to like display themselves in like a sanctuary that way.
That is cool, actually. I mean, rather you have enough currencies in the game, so we could probably get one of them for like outfit progression. Cool ideas.
Cool, that's a good idea. I wonder when they'll get that kind of stuff in though, the sanctuary, because they've been talking about that stuff for years. Even in 2014, they were talking about sanctuaries. It's been 5 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotta see it. Yeah.
Sanctuaries and battle islands.
Yeah.
2019.
What's funny? That battle island does exist. Back in 2015, they opened up the content called Nexus, and that was our version of the battle island. But they never like unleashed it to live. It was on a test server for a while. Then they locked it.
Yeah, it might be content for Planetside Arena, so we will see in the coming months.
Oh.
But okay, so far the NC Connery drama. Another point, by the way, in the topics list for tonight. By the way, for the viewers right now, if you have any topics, suggestions, requests, or questions, just ask them in the chat, or you can join my Discord, and over there you can do the same thing, and basically. Link all over here. Next topic is the Racket Smash in 2019. Before we go to that, Are you guys going to participate in the coming Community Smash?
Yeah, my outfit's joining up with one TR to do some community smashing. So it should be a good time. Should be exciting. The thing is, I wish there were like more said community smashes like there were in the past. The only unfortunate part is to get everybody to do that is like atrocious. It takes a lot of manpower. Love them
Yeah,
for trying.
kudos for the organization, indeed. It's probably a lot of work. And you need to do a lot with the, I don't know how they do with the Jaeger accounts. They need to get a lot of Jaeger accounts, so...
Yeah, imagine the administrator that has to manage like 500 Jaeger accounts for that day. It is.
And also try to balance all those different kind of players, different skill, different outfit groups, different outfit numbers. It's probably a
Yeah,
mess over there.
it is a massive endeavor, and like to do it right also depends on like the ethicality of like the administrators running it. I don't know if you know about the drama from last year's community smash in July.
Oh no, please tell us. I'm curious.
Oh my goodness. It was so in last year's community smash, there was there was a I'm not gonna name names, but there was a couple of administrators and leaders on the I believe the TR side. Actually, if it wasn't TR, no, it was on the NC or VS side. Which one was I was playing TR, so I don't even remember like what faction I was playing on. But on the other side, they had a couple leaders who said they wanted to balance the teams properly, and they thought it was a good idea to put a couple midfits on the TR team included on that midfit list to be the counterbalance for like 9 different outfits with 9 to 10 different squads of skilled players. So one side had 10 to 11 skilled squads, and the other side had 3. Statistically speaking, that's not going to win, right? And the really cancerous part about it was that one of these administrators, the day before the match, went into my Discord and told me, "Hey, so tomorrow I'm gonna bring these X outfits, and they're gonna come destroy your." And I'm like, and I was drunk at the time, so I'm like, "Oh, okay. I already signed up for Community Smash, so I'm gonna attend anyway. And I know it's gonna be bad, but I'm gonna attend anyway, just because it's Community Smash." Little and behold, the match was so atrocious to our side, we instantly got warp gated within 45 minutes. And the Force Commander like fell into like a state of despair. And then there's this mega drama on Reddit regarding like what actually partook in what happened. And then all the shit just started spewing. Like the people are blaming this X group, and there was like this group of like farmers who were like super super talented that got on, firmed all the Zergfit players from all the Zergfit. It's atrocious, like mess. So I'm hoping this year, the administrators got it right. They got it down packed. They understand that in order to bring outfits to Jaeger, they need to make sure they keep balance appropriate and not have certain individuals try to, manipulate the system just for the sake of winning. Because the same reason applies to Dim Giant, right? If you're winning at the expense of everybody else, is it really winning? If you don't have anybody to play against anymore,
I mean, what do you even get to win?
nothing.
Nothing.
You're getting nothing. Just the satisfaction of winning.
Yeah.
That's it.
And but it's the same thing. If you try to play a game of football against a child, you're supposed to win. So the skill difference is just unfair. So what's the joy? Yeah, there's no joy in winning something like that.
Yeah, I'm just hoping this year's Community Smash is not a repeat of last year, because that was, oh my god. The funniest part about it was that said administrator who went into my Discord and told me about all that stuff, told my faction team and the force commander that, oh well, if that team just more and talk to each other, they. I heard that, I'm like, dude, if you do the math, you're saying 4 skilled players or 1 skilled player will beat 4 for every 1 skilled player we have. It's not possible, A, and then like to expect new players or medium tier players to compete against those guys like on a force multiplier level is nearly impossible. Not possible. It's a lot to ask for.
But okay, that's the coming Community Smash. That is hopefully going to be fun. You can, by the way, still subscribe or join or sign up for the event until the 16th of June. It will be happening the 13th of July. And I think it's 8 p.m. UTC. Is it, by the way, a good time for you guys in America, or is it very, very early still?
It's actually 4 o'clock for me. So afternoon.
Doable, okay. Was it hard for you guys to find a lot of available people at that time? Hello?
I wonder if he dropped out.
He might have dropped out. Anyway,
Hello,
let's...
live.
Hello,
there you
yeah?
go.
What's your question?
I'm sorry. Was it hard for you guys to find enough people to sign up?
My outfit, no. In general, for the community smash event, no. I think they had a lot of people on both sides. Probably in the couple hundreds on both ends. It's just like I said, like after the event was over, a lot of outfits pledged to never come back again. So we'll see for this year. But last year was pretty filled for the most part for community smash.
Okay, let's see. I think there are no restrictions to the amount of people that can sign up, so please go ahead. Anyway, that will be, by the way, 1 versus 1 faction. I'm curious which factions we will get, but we will see. Record Smash might be coming up. I don't know if you guys know about the Instant Action podcast by the Derringer. He also plays on Emerald, I think. Not sure. Anyway, he's going to do. He had the visit to the headquarters of Daybreak Games in San Diego, and over there he had a little talk. One of the things they mentioned was they all are talking about doing another Record Smash, or at least an attempt in getting a new record at the Guinness Book. That might mean another Record Smash. I don't think Rogue. Have you participated in the old
No,
one?
I haven't.
No. Have you, Shades?
A rocket smash?
No, the Record Smash.
Bracket.
Record. Like, with a world record.
Oh, World Record Smash. No, I was actually not at the Guinness World Record Smash for that one. I think that was like 2014 or 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it wasn't. That was a big bout. I believe that was with all three factions and like 350 players or something like that. All both all like. If they do it again, that'd be great. And if it's dev sponsored, even better. That would be fantastic, actually. Just be like live, only more coordinated.
Well, I don't think they're gonna sponsor anything, but they're gonna be there, and of course, to at least make sure the service will keep up, and maybe activate some alerts or events or whatever. But I think at least for the game, for like the attention of the game, for the community to at least have something to hype again about, it's very good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's great advertising because like there's like a lot of people out there who like want to play Planetside but aren't fully convinced yet. Record Smash definitely, entice them for sure to check it out at the very least.
So,
I have to wonder though, how would the current spawn system react?
That's a great question. Depends, right? The tier 2 priorities might or might not make for some interesting gameplay, depending on like what's going on.
I would love to see though massive amounts of galaxies flying through the air.
Oh yeah, definitely can't. You definitely can't get that anywhere else. Any other game. Oh, for sure. Yeah, going back to tier 2 spawns, like I'm curious to see like how outfits would take advantage of that, because in that case, speed is everything, just like it was in the past, but even more so tier 2 priority. Actually had an op on. I think Friday I had one squad Tark tech plant, or that lane Tark tower and Tark depot that's connected to. And then another squad attacked Tark Tower, so we had one different squad on both bases waiting for some platoons to pick which one to hit, or to hit both, and then hopefully hit one less. And we had one squad take that Tark Tower base and lose Tark Depot, and I'm like, okay, well, how about I take the guys from Tark Tower and fly them immediately with a Galaxy, pick them up because we had a Galaxy on the way already, and then drive them to the base we just lost, and then instead of dropping 12 on it, we'll drop 24 in less than 25 seconds. With tier 2 spawn system, like not realizing what's going on early on, the people who were defending that base were like, holy crap, we just kicked the way out. How'd they get back so fast? And two, they have more people now. Where did they come from? We need reinforcements. Let's go get some. It's already too late then. right? Because the tier 2 spawn systems are gonna take some time to like tell you, hey, like reinforcements are needed this base. In order to like counter that, you would have to have like an active P on the map watching what's going on. So there should that like a play like that, and if that happens consistently during like a record smash or a platoon smash, should be very interesting to see if PLs are taking advantage of speed like that and knowing how to move the map.
A different game, but when I played Guild Wars, we had a World v World, and what we did, we had a few people keeping up with the Zergs where they were moving. So we would have a bit of a time advantage with that sometimes, at least some information advantage. But I don't think if that's easy to do in Planetside, especially because you can so easily just go back to the so easily teleport again. But talking about that with the Rocket Smash again, is there any preferred map you want to see with like big amounts of players?
Probably
Not-
Hudson.
I was gonna say not Hawson.
Not Hosson. And why Hosson, you think?
So I'm a little bit different because I don't lead big outfits anymore, and I know big outfits enjoy like Indar and Estimir because of all the open field and landscape. But the problem with Jaeger smashes and like and any type of smash in general is half the outfits you're gonna play against know what they're doing. So I would prefer them, try to weave through trees and try to have hard time getting to the point versus them trying to set up early and stuff, because if you have all these skilled players running around the map doing like skilled things and they're not impede, they're just gonna avoid all your tank columns, right? If they're on Indar, they're just gonna fly right by you and be like, hey, that armor column you had down there, useless. See, I'm gonna drop now. Come back and try to get all of your tanks. You just waste all those nanites and see if you can get me off. I've dropped 4 maxes on this point. Good luck getting them up. On Hassan, if you're gonna, if you're gonna like try to do all that stuff, it's gonna take a little bit more skill, a little bit of coordination, buy you some time. Then an active air force in the air is probably the biggest, scariest thing on any smash. If your air force is extremely strong and beating the other air force out, and then they're smashing the ground on top of that, and there's a lot of open space, it is the worst type of infantry play possible. You're gonna eject from your gal, or you're gonna get shot down by 12 Mossies because your air team was completely destroyed, and you're gonna try to run for the point in desperation, only to be gunned down in midair from a Mossie that was chasing you down. On Hassan, it's a lot hard to do. Galaxies can weave through trees, the Mossies will have to weave through trees, everybody's going to be on the same playing field, and infantry has a safer time of staying on the ground without getting farmed. That's why.
I've really found that on Hassan, the trees do as much to protect the air from the ground as the other way around. I mean, it's easy to break line of sight from lock-ons. Anti-air guns are going to have a harder time because it's easy to break line of sight and get into some kind of cover.
Right, for solo farming, yes, but for like platoon play or like squad play or like outfits v outfits kind of stuff, in that type of scale, if somebody has the better air force and you have all the open space, your infantry will never touch the point, right? So like I'm taking account for like everybody else that's on the ground, which is the most important part of the game, the infantry.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, the infantry will take the points.
Yeah. Someone's
however,
got to do it.
there are some changes made to the map. There are some points that are made for vehicle play, basically. They had a pretty long timer. They even reset to only 1 minute. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? What kind of bases?
Yeah, you're talking about the ones that are just basically 1 point way out in the open.
Yeah, do you guys think it's a good change to have those open fields made to like have a very short takeover time?
I have to wonder what's even the point of them at that rate. I mean, it's just like a speed bump.
People can still build bases around those. So, I think the idea is that people want to make bases around them and have a nice fight there.
Yeah, I don't know what the 1 minute timer is about, but if the idea is for them to fight around the point in the first place, 1 minute is definitely too short. Because if it is for like player made bases, then if you lose the base, 1 minute to take it back is impossible, right? It's not. You're not gonna have enough time to organize a defense for that. 4 to 5 minutes, Where 6 minutes is a different story. Then you can have like an epic tank battle on both sides with commanders like issuing orders to their guys to flank left, flank right, do whatever that crazy tank stuff that people do on tanks on the ground. I think that'd be more exciting, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think if it's for the bases, okay, but the argument that having 1 minute timers to be used as a crux for a base builder to build a fantastic base to defend against you probably is a poor excuse so that base builder doesn't have enough manpower to defend himself anyway. And more times than a lot of bases people blow up aren't defendable because you don't have enough people.
No, a lot of
Mhm.
solo builders.
Yep. There's a lot of them on there who build those bases on those hexes and then all of a sudden see an outfit like 69 AR on Emerald come by and be like, hey, my 2-man platoon, we're gonna break that now. And then you're gonna struggle and be like, well, let's see what I can do. Next thing you know, 2 minutes later, you lose your entire left wall, and then you've reached right in and destroyed your whole base that you spent 4 hours building. Not a good feeling. And then the people on the map who see what's going on there have 1 minute to defend it for you, arrive nowhere near in time at Quartz Ridge instead of at the base that's next to it. That's the tank column base. Can't do anything to help you.
Yeah, you have
So,
no way to react anymore now. It's really impossible. The only thing
Yep.
you can do is you can already go to the next base in the ledges, so you can defend there. But that one is a goner if you see it's taken over. We do have a comment from Socrates about the Hossen air to ground stuff, I think. If an MBT can land a hit on a lip as it's flying, for example, it can swap to an AA gun to ground and rip on it, and is very likely to die. On Hossen, an aircraft can swoop in without being seen until they're basically on top of the base, which gives them a good 10 seconds of soaking flak before they need to fly off.
that's a good argument. Because on Endar, if you have a lot of flak up in his open airspace and you have a decent ground team that can shoot them, yeah, then air is per se useless. But in that case, if you're on Hassan and your pilots are really good and there's no other air contesting them, yeah, flak's gonna have a hard time getting rid of you. They can still annoy you. It's not like they can't. It's a matter of them, doing it the right way. But again, solo play, if you're a solo farmer like in Amasi on Hassan, then you're gonna have a fantastic time. If you're a solo farmer on Indar, you're gonna have a not fantastic time. It really depends. But I thought if we're talking like from the Smash perspective, then it's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, I've found that
Yeah.
Austin tends to do more than any other continent to like compartmentalize each part of the game. It's like air versus air, and then you got armor versus armor. You have
Mhm.
infantry
Yep.
versus infantry. Not a whole lot of mixing in between compared to the other continents.
Mm-hmm. Personally, I feel like that's probably better for the game. But in my opinion, just because I mean I'm an infantry warrior, so like I probably shouldn't be discussing air or tanks. But back in Planetside 1, I didn't actually have a chance to play. I just understood like how it kind of worked. They broke like everything down. Like if there was a tank battle, the tank battle would happen upstairs, and then after the tanks were over, then you would push down underground to fight the infantry. I think it's just easier to kind of work it that way, just because combined arms, depending on the situation, and if you don't have skilled leaders on both sides, both doing combined arms properly, it's not a fun experience, right? Because you mix all three, and you don't know what you're doing, and then you get destroyed for someone else who does the same thing. You just get steamrolled. At least with the compartmentalization, you have layers of defense to kind of fall back on and reorganize yourself without getting punished. It's a matter of skill. Like the concept's not bad. It's just like at our current state in time, not having enough skilled leaders, enough skilled players to understand what's going on to do combined arms is just atrocious.
I'm also checking the previous Record Smash. They also have been playing on Hossen back then. So I think they have been thinking about it at least.
Yeah, for sure.
There's also, I think, a reason why they play the Community Smash on Hossen again. This time, though, from east to west. Or west to east. That's basically because we're playing with only 2 factions instead of 3.
Yeah, I think that's how it should be. And they'll probably fight for like either a couple. They'll fight for like probably a couple different lanes. Like there'll be 3 lanes, the left, the middle, kind of deal. Let's go from there. And not every map will be taken into consideration, which is a good thing. That way, it'll limit like the amount of bases you'll take. But Smashes are usually all about timers. You're gonna fight on those 3 different lanes. It's a wonderful experience. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah. About a good time, by the way. Normally your podcast lasts about an hour, so we are gone to that. If you have any questions, this is the time.
Well, there was one question that Filthy19107 brought up, asking what exactly is a quality fight. And my answer to that is, if you ask 10 Planetside 2 players that question, you'll be lucky if you only get 10 answers.
Yep, I agree. I agree completely. Depends. Depends on the leader. Depends on the outfit. Depends on what they do. This game, because this game's a freaking sandbox, nobody knows what. It's a tough answer. It's a really tough answer.
I mean, I'm primarily infantry, so the best fight for me is where I get to shoot the other mans, and I'm not getting shelled or bombarded by rockets or anything, you know?
I also see a comment from Alpha 104. 141, I mean. Getting on this podcast must be easy if someone like Shades is on there. Yes.
Got him.
Like I said, hey, you let me on here, there's no quality control anywhere.
No, but Alpha, if you want to be on, send me a message, and your opinion might be quality as well. But other than that, like I said, we will also are on YouTube. I will just quickly link my YouTube as well. So if you couldn't see the whole podcast, it is of course available on Twitch as a VOD. Otherwise, it will be on YouTube later on. Of course, if you have any like suggestions for next week, also send me a tweet, or again, go to my Discord. Then I'm going to thank DefensiveShades and TheRogueWolf. Do you guys have anything to share still?
I got nothing.
Nope, that's it.
No? Okay, then I'm going to wish you guys a very good evening, and till next time.
Yep, till next time. Check you guys around. See ya.
See you then.